What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This is an high-end retouching tutorial and we're going to be using only Photoshop. I edited this picture a long time ago and I used both Capture One and Photoshop, but this time around let's try and use only Photoshop and see the results we're going to get. So let's get started. The first thing first we need to do is to duplicate the layer, and I'm going to duplicate it just because I want to have a reference where I'm going to be checking how far the progress I've made. So first thing, I've duplicated it. And now I'm going to name this reference, RPF to reference, and then we're going to use only this one. For this one, let's do some white balance. And I'm going to be using the solid layer, so it's okay. So this is for the white balance. I'm going to try to get the real color of the image. So turn it off, double click on it to select the color, and I'm going to click on the teeth. Now it's going to give me the color range, and I'm going to hit OK. Now turn it back on, change the blending mode to divide, and we're going to have it like this. Now this is before, and then this is after, just the right color. And now I'm going to go ahead and grab the exposure because I know it's too exposed for the now. I would have used in Capture One, but let's limit ourselves to only Photoshop. So let's increase the gamma. Now more details are checked. All right, so let's take it down. And now I'm going to go ahead, Control Shift Alt and E to create a stem visible layer. And after creating a stem visible layer, I'm going to go ahead to camera raw filter, and that is where I'm going to make a lot of adjustments. Okay, so let's dive and go to camera raw filter. Okay, so go to here, select the layer, go filter, and let's go to camera raw filter. So here we are in camera raw filter. We're going to go to the basic tab, and if we like, we can use the white balance here again and just click on it, and it's going to give us this. But I don't want to use that, so I'm going to limit myself to this just because I like the color. And now what we need to do again is to use the highlight. Now bringing the white and the highlight down just to adjust the exposure on the wall, and we can see the difference. So bringing this down and bringing the rest down. So I'm just going to bring this down a little and bring the white. Let's find a sweet spot for it. Okay, now we could increase the shadows and bring down the blacks to give more definition. Okay, so let's close this. We're going to come back to it later on in the video. All right, so now I'm going to go to the geometry. Now the way the geometry works aligns the head and the rest of. So let's see if the pictures are right. Let's just click the auto, and it's going to adjust the image to. Okay, now it's adjust the image. We can see the before and then the after. All right, so I'm going to close it. Now I'm going to use the optics as well. The optics. Now, if you observe in the image, she kind of brought her head forward, and if you don't know, you will not until you adjust the distortion and bring it down. So you can see that she brought her head forward. So I'm going to bring it and take it in a little bit to make it look as if she's appearing straight. Not too much, just a bit, and like that. So I'm going to close it, and then we have her before and then a after, just a little adjustment. So we are making progress. All right, so let's click OK on the image. Now adjustment, and wait for Photoshop. So this is our before, and then this is our after. More like the image was dragged inside. Okay, so let's do some color correction. We know the image is blur, but let's try and do some color correction. I want to remove this red, so let's create the hue and saturation adjustment, and let's increase the hue. Oh, sorry. Reset. Click on the hand to click on this one. Just going to click on that area, and then I'm going to increase. Well, now we have different selection. We have different skin tone. Okay, so we're going to adjust the slider to the red part alone. So let's take it backwards. I want to get just the red part. So this part right here. So we have this one, and let's go ahead, make this 0, and quickly adjust the increase to make it yellow. Okay, so now we have it yellow. We're going to remove it from places we don't need it though. So we can increase the lightness as well, but not too much. Just increase the lightness. Don't worry, it looks ugly right now. We're going to adjust everything. Okay, so now we have from this to this. So we're going to bring back some of our makeup. So click the brush tool. Let's make the hardness small, softer, sorry, and make it brush smaller. And I'm going to paint on to remove Yeah, so we have that. And I'm going to give her some of the makeup back. So just like that. Let's turn it off and on to see where the makeups are. The makeup is here. I'm going to leave that alone. Let's see if she's blushing. Yeah, I think she's blushing. Okay, but we could bring that back as well to some of the blushing parts. Okay, so now that we have that, I'm going to do some frequency separation. But before we do the frequency separation, let's try and brighten up this side. So I'm going to create the hue and saturation again. And let's go ahead and go to select filter, color range. And I'm going to select this side. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Okay, cancel. Yeah, select this image and go to filter, sorry, select color range. And I'm going to select this range. You can see the range, so I'm going to increase it. It's okay. I just need in that range. And the selection will be made, and we can click on this, hit shift F5. I'm going to fill it with black. Okay. Now it's going to fill it with black. Control D to deselect, and we're going to do Control I to invert the mask. Now, once we've inverted the mask, let's try and adjust the lightness of that side. Now it's less saturated, so we're going to increase the lightness, not too much, just a bit, increase, and we can put more saturation to it. And let's see if we can adjust, remove it from the red. So like this. All right, so now we have it like this. Okay, so we like to do some frequency separation. To do Control Shift and E. There's a lot to do in the image, so just follow up on how we adjust it. Okay, so now I'm going to group all these together, and we'll see the progress we're making. So from this to this. Okay, so we're still editing. All right, so now for frequency separation, I'm going to quickly do this. So Control J to do the frequency separation, and then I'm going to go back to you. All right, so let's do some frequency separation. Just skin blending. I didn't have to do because we have less. Let's see if we have some just little ones. But the picture is not too clear, so let's just do some. Hold on hot, and then I'm just gonna fix all those, and it should be done. Okay, so let's just zoom. Let's fix this side as well. That's this side. And fix. Okay, let's just assume this is what we need. And I would like to do this top part. So I'm going to grab the hue and saturation. Let's create a stem visible layer, and now grab the hue and saturation again. So take the end tool and pick this side. Increase. So we still have, okay, I think that place is a little bit uniform, right? Let's see if we can select just that place. So we can't. Leave we can't. Okay, so that should be done. We should just leave it. There's no need because it seems it's okay right now. But I would like to use capture one for that. Okay, so since we are done with that, we can do some eyes and skin whitening. But before we do that, let's use the liquify to adjust the hair. So go to liquify. Now here we are in the liquify, and I'm going to use the face feature first, and I'm going to adjust the head. So let's adjust the face a bit. Wow, yeah. So I'll bring this down. Why is it bringing? I don't want to show mask, so let's turn that one off. Show backdrop, sorry. I'm going to leave it. All right, so let's continue. For the face, I guess we need to we can straighten our head. So I usually do that a lot. So let's see for our lips. Let's go ahead to the face and bring it close and bring the mouth close. Bring this up. Okay, so now look at these eyes. This one is a little bit open, and I would like to open this just a bit. It matches that, and open this one a bit. Okay, so which order the jaw? Bring it in. Okay, now, we should look more. I'm going to tip the nose towards the left. So pick up the small tool and let's decrease the size and push the nose to the left a bit. Okay, so we have it like this. Now we can straight the head. For us to do that, we use the twirl tool. Now this is what I'm going to do with the twirl tool. I'm going to straighten up the head, just breaking, and now it's straightened. We can do the before and after. but I don't want to mess with the image. All right, so now let's select the smudge tool and make it bigger to size of the head. Okay, so now that we have it, I think we are almost done. We could actually use the face tool again and push this in. So I'm going to grab this one, the smudge tool, like I said, and push. Let's push the mouth or the jaw inside. Sorry, I mean parts of the lips, just a bit. Okay, so I would like to use the twill tool. So let's adjust and say okay, we're done with that. I'm going to go back to camera raw filter, and I would like to make the image straight. So go to filter, camera raw filter. Now this is very important. I'm going to show you why it's very important. So let's wait. Here we are in camera raw filter. Let's go to the geometry again. Now the geometry, I'm going to rotate till she appears straight. And now like this, I think her head is straight already. So we have her head straight at this point, aligned. Let's see, yes, her head is straight. Okay, so let's see the horizontal. Now I'm going to tilt the body a bit so it appear like this, like she's having, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, no scale, we can scale it up and bring it up, but let's not scale it up yet because we're going to use the older peaks to match it. So we have a straight image like this, and now we can now blend this other part of our image. Okay, so you can see the hand and the rest part. So let's create a stem visible layer, Control Shift Alternate E, create a stem visible layer for that. And let's turn, we're going to decrease the opacity of this one. So we have it. Let's turn this off, and select this, decrease the opacity so you see what I'm talking about. We need to fill the head backwards. Okay, so we need the body standing straight and the head standing straight, not like she's tilting her body. So we're going to increase this and create a mask. Let's increase and create a mask for it. Now the mask, we're going to invert, Control I to invert it, and then we're going to grab the brush, make the brush bigger, and we're just going to clean on the face, tap on the face alone. Let's make sure the brush harnesses. So I'm going to do it like this. Come on. Sorry, black and white. Black and white. So we have it like this. So it doesn't look fake. So we have that. And we can make the brush softer now. And then the edges, make it softer. You can see some of the edges right here. So just make it soft. And this side as well. So this, so you can see what I'm doing. You can as well, I'm going to do that alone. Hit X on the keyboard to make that place focus. Okay. All right. So we're good. Control Z to do undo that. So now the body is straight. Okay, this side. I'm going to do this. Yeah. Why I'm doing this is to make sure this body and this body is the same. So let's see. Let's make the brush size thicker, and I'm going to do this quickly. Sorry, I'm not supposed to do that. All right, so X, it's X to change the background color, and let's see how we could merge all of that in. Okay, no, I'm trying to blend the two image together. Of course we could feel it, but I'm going to bring it down. Yes, so I see. Okay, so it's just a rough work. You can, take your time and fix all those in back. So I'm doing it like this. I'm going to decrease the hardness and come back. So Control Z and smoothing it out. Okay, let's just leave it like that. It won't be noticeable. All right, so we have this back and we have this back. All right, so now that we have this one, let's merge the two. Let's create a stem visible layer. Control Shift Alt and E to create a stem visible layer. All right, so now let's work on the teeth. So I'm going to grab the solid color and it's okay. So turn it off, double click, and I'm going to select the eyes in particular, and that's color we have. It's okay. Turn it on, go to divide, and as a blending mode. Yeah, it's too bright now. I'm going to invert the mask, Control I, invert the mask. Click on the brush to make sure the foreground color is white, and let's paint on the eyes. So decrease the size of the brush. Let's zoom in. Oh, come on. Decrease the brush size, and I know it will be too bright for the now. And we're going to do this as well. And let's do for this side. Control Z. I want the highlight brighter. Highlight brighter. So it's bright for the teeth too. We're going to do the same. Sorry. We need to just make sure. Okay, so now we have white teeth. Double click on the layer, take it up till we have something good. So we have it like this, and I believe it's looking okay for me. So let's make more adjustments. Click on this and make sure everywhere is selected on the teeth. Make it white, make it small, and do this as well. I'm going to do this as well. All right, so this also I'm going to pay attention. So we can duplicate and we can just leave it like that. All right, so now that we have that, you can decrease the hue to make it look natural like this. But I prefer it like this. You can do another one for the lips. Control J. So I'm going to erase it from the eyes. This one. I'm going to erase this one from the eyes. Sorry. Erase this one from the eyes. Make it bigger. And X to cover it from the eyes. I'm going to click this one and remove it from the teeth. So one for the teeth, one for the eyes. This is for the teeth. So I'm going to decrease. Let's go ahead. Let's hide it. Cancel. Hide this one and turn this off. Double click on it and select the teeth, and then it's okay. Turn it back on. So that didn't work fine. I'm gonna select the eye back, which is too bright, and take it up and decrease the opacity. Okay, so this should look natural at 50%. And let's turn this back on, and this is good. So let's see. Oh, okay, so we are good. Now I would like to decrease the opacity of this place. It's too bright. So now we're going to grab the exposure to exposure, and I'm going to decrease the exposure. All right, so I'm going to limit it to the bright side alone. So double click to open up the blending option. We're going to bring it out from the black side, and the hold on Alt. Let's split it. Okay, so we want it on the white light side alone. Okay, so like this. And you can see the effect. So we can decrease. Let's decrease the opacity. Now we're good. Okay, now it's affecting just that side alone. So now what we can do is we can as well blend those two places together using frequency separation. But now let's just create a stem visible layer. Control Shift Alternate E. Create a stem visible layer. And I'm going to grab the mixer tool brush. And I'm going to mix those two colors together. So let me make it bigger and just blend it together like this. So I'm going to blend all this together so as to hide the details of the wall. Okay, so now we have it good. I'm going to do this as well to create some smooth wall. And inside, let's decrease and blend the inside. Okay, so it's all good now. All right, so now we're going to adjust more on the skin tone. So let's go ahead, grab the hue and saturation, And I want to get the black skin, melanin skin. So I'm going to click on the color, make sure it's selected. We have that selected already, so it's already on the red. So now for us to achieve that, I'm going to try to manipulate. So let's bring this down a little to decrease the saturation. And you can move this around. Let's not get the red. I don't want the yellow tone, I want the red tone. So -2, no, should be fine. So -2 should be fine. And we can bring down the brightness. Taking it off will be ugly. So bringing it down. So let's see before and then after. So we just decrease the color of it. So now we can go ahead and let's see. All right, so we'll add it back when we get to camera raw filter. I'm going to blend these two together. Mesh layers, go to filter, camera raw filter again. So now with camera raw filter, let's make adjustments. I'm going to bring down the black, more details on our clothes. I'm going to bring it down, not too much, just 25. And let's increase the shadows and the highlights. So bring down the highlights and the white. So let's give it some texture. And we can have some cool and warm temperature. So I'm going to put some warm temperature of -1. I'm going to close this and go to color mixer. So let's make the red look red. Sorry, go to the U first of all, make the red look red. Okay, so for the color, I'm not going to go back because it's going to make it look red. So it's either we make it look yellow or we just leave it. So I don't want the reddish, I want the yellow feel. And make this one look yellow. And we're going to make the rest look like green, this one, and bring this one back. So let's go to the saturation and let's saturate the skin. So look at how I make the skin more pronounced, increasing the orange. So not too much where it looks like it's oversaturated. So but at least 15 should be fine. And also increase the saturation of the orange, of the yellow, sorry, and the green, increase the saturation, and the blues just like 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. All right, so for the luminosity of this of the skin, we can brighten that up. I'm going to bring this down for the lips and brighten the skin up to make her, to make it pop. And just get the best settings for it. So bring this. I'm going to bring this one down. Yeah, so as to make the subject far. You can see what's happening to this one. If I take it off, the background, the frame of the background. So take this one back and go back to the saturation because I've increased the lightness, I'll increase the saturation back. So we are good with that. I'm going to go back to the geometry and let's see if we have any auto geometry to align. Okay, so I wouldn't want to do that. I like it the way it is, the first one. But we can adjust the was is it the aspect right now? Yes, I think it's the aspect. So let's take it back and make it thinner, like -3 should be fine. So it's as if she looks bulky. Let's go down and adjust the effect. I'm gonna have some vignette, not the bright one, a dark one, or -2, just a bit, and close it. Let's go to the calibration panel. And because she's dark skin, yeah, not too. I'm gonna bring this back and bring this one forward. And find the sweet spot for our green. So let's bring it backwards. So let's see her before and after for it. I feel like I really like the way the without the calibration. Yes. Let's see what's wrong with the image without the calibration. Let's just leave the calibration out of it. If we use another one, we use okay. So let's go ahead. And now one more thing. We can do dodging and burning, but if that will waste time, I'm just gonna pause the video and do the dodging and burning. But since we have this now, we can as well make the subject come out of the background more. So I'm gonna use the curve for that by increasing. Uh, let's not increase. The. Let's bring it down, and I'm gonna select the mask. Select the brush tool and make sure the brush size is like this, and I'm gonna paint over and like that. Okay, so let's just hit X and hide it in some places so it matches the background. On the hair, I'm gonna hide it. I'm gonna put it on the face. Okay, so now we have the background darker, and we can as well add some vibrance to it. You know, oh. Okay, I think it's changing more of something. So delete. Let's go ahead and grab some color balance. Yeah, I like using the color balance a lot. So let's add some tone. Let's start with the highlights. So giving some blues, and let's put some magenta, cyan, and I'm going to increase the magenta -4, go to the midtones, and let's give it a warm look now. So minus just little changes. Let's give it some red. Yeah, like 3. So, and let's find a sweet blue for it. Okay, so this is too much, power -2. And let's see what the shadows can do where things get interesting. So I increase the blues to +3. Let's see the sweet spot for this magenta -3 and cyan. I guess we need cyan. I wouldn't want to use red. I would want to use cyan -3. All right, so that should be fine. And we have before and then the after, just some depth. All right, so next one, we're going to have the exposure. So you know how this photo looks. Increase the gamma, now making things darker. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to remove it. Let's remove it. X. Hide it from the face and some part of the body. Okay, so we have it like this. All right, so create a stem visible layer, Control Shift Alternate E to create a stem visible layer. Now, creating a stem visibility, I would like to do dodging and burning, but you can as well have dodging and burning. Let's look at our progress. I'm going to group all these together and then look at our before, then our after. Incredible, right? So before and after. So just with this one, there's a lot to do. There's a lot to do. Remember, well, the first time I edited, it took me more than 2 hours and the rest, and now it just took me how many minutes? Okay, so if you find the video helpful on a lot of things, there's some trick I use. You can go ahead and like the video and let me know what you think in the comment section. See you in our next video. Thank you.